There's something magical about the smell. The minute you touch down here, it grabs you and captivates you, and chances are, it holds you forever. I'm not the first to feel this way. There is no better place to entertain the leader of the free world, in my opinion, than one of these classic, funky, family-run noodle shops you find all over Hanoi. Dinner and a beer cost about $6. I'm guessing the president doesn't get a lot of state dinners like this.
How often do you get to sneak out for a beer?
Very rarely. First of all, I don't get to sneak out, period. But once in a while, I'll take Michelle out on a date night. The problem is, part of enjoying a restaurant is sitting with other patrons and enjoying the atmosphere. And too often, we end up getting shunted into one of those private rooms in the back.
Well, I'm glad I could help, and to many
I
more
appreciate it.
viewers.
Absolutely. All right, you're gonna have to.
I will walk you through.
You're gonna have to walk me through this.
We're about to eat bun cha. And it is about as typical and uniquely a Hanoi dish as there is. These beautiful little pork patties, some grilled pork belly.
Bun cha is served in a broth of vinegar, sugar, and the ubiquitous guac mam, or Vietnamese fermented fish sauce.
Chilies to taste. I mean, if you have an important state function after, you might not want to go too heavy on garlic.
I'm going with this thing. You know, we're gonna do what's appropriate.
Vinegar.
All right.
And then you just hack off noodles. You just drop them in your bowl.
Yeah, it's not too elegant, but I'm managing.
And you dip and stir and get ready for the awesomeness.
I'm ready. Now, is it appropriate to just pop one of these whole suckers in your mouth, or do you think that you should be a little more...
Well, slurping is totally acceptable in this part of the world, but...
It takes some skills, by the way, to handle these sticky, cold noodles. But whatever your opinion of the man, the president has those skills. I gotta say.
This is killer. This is outstanding.
So good to hear.
It's really good.
And we share, apparently, a sentimentality about Asian street food and Southeast Asia in general.
One of my favorite meals of all time. There's an area between Jakarta and Bandung, another city in Indonesia, called Puncak, and it's up through the mountains. So you'd have these roadside restaurants overlooking the tea fields. There'd be a river running through the restaurant itself, and there'd be these fish, these carp that would be running through, and you'd pick the fish. They'd grab it for you and fry it up, and the skin would be real crispy, and they just serve it with a bed of rice. And it was the simplest meal possible, and nothing tasted so good.
Now, as a Chicagoan, trickier question fraught with peril. Is ketchup on a hot dog ever acceptable?
No. No, I mean that. That's one of those things like, well, let me put it this way. It's not acceptable past the age of 8.
My daughter's 8, and she put ketchup on eggs the other day, and I didn't know what good parenting called for at this point.
An intervention.
I think so.
I think you just got to say, you know what, that's not acceptable. I'm sorry.
We're at a point where we seem to be turning inwards. I mean, we're actually talking about building a wall around our country. And yet you have been reaching out to people who don't necessarily agree with us. Gaza, Iran, Cuba. I mean, I just wish that more Americans had passports. The extent to which you can see how other people live seems useful at worst and incredibly pleasurable and interesting at best.
It confirms the basic truth that people everywhere are pretty much the same. The same hopes and dreams. And when you come to a place like Vietnam and you see former American Vietnam vets coming back, when you see somebody like a John Kerry or a John McCain, two very different people politically and temperamentally, but who were able to bond in their experience of meeting with their former adversaries. And you don't make peace with your friends. You make peace with your enemies.
As the father of a young girl, is it all going to be okay? It's all going to work out. My daughter will be able to come here in 5 years, 10 years. She'll be able to have a bowl of bun cha, and the world will be a better place.
Yeah, I mean, I think progress is not a straight line. You know, there are going to be moments at any given part of the world where things are terrible. But having said all that, I think things are going to work out.
Thank you so much. Cheers. Cheers.
Miami's the kind of place you say, that could never be me. And then, it is.
So you've been here how many years now?
15 years.
15 years. You're a Floridian.
Yeah.
When I was young, this man was a role model, an ideal, a roadmap for bad behavior. His music, it turned out, was the soundtrack for most of my life. Still is. James Osterberg of Muskegon, Michigan. Known still all over the world as Iggy Pop.
You grew up in Michigan. You lived in New York for a long period of time.
I went from Michigan to London. I went from London to Hollywood, which was rough. Hollywood to Berlin, which was great. Back to London. And then New York from 79 to 99.
Was it a conceivable option at any point earlier on to say, you know, I could live in Florida?
Yeah, it wasn't for me. I was hustling, hustling in a big city. It just kind of happened by chance. I had a shady friend who owned a condo here. And I thought, well, this is a nice little trashy hang. You could just pull up to the beach anytime you wanted and look out and see the end of complications. And anybody could do that, and it was safe and free. And I thought, this is beautiful.
So we're eating healthy today.
Yeah.
What do you like here?
I wouldn't have thought back then in my dorm room that all those years later I'd be eating healthy with Iggy Pop. Barbecue shrimp for the godfather of punk. I get wild and crazy with some roast pork. A little white wine, our only tilt towards the debauches of previous lives.
I well remember the first Stooges album coming out, the context of the time. This was, what, 69?
69, August.
In a lot of ways, as far as looking after my health, your music early on was a negative example.
I hear you.
And looking at my own life and career, I'm pretty much known for traveling around the world and recklessly drinking and eating to excess.
Yeah, sure.
What does it say about us that we are now sitting in a healthy restaurant? I just came from the gym, and we're in Florida.
Listen, if you just flamed out, you're in such voluminous and undistinguished company, and then all your works will flame out quicker with you.
What's a perfect day in Miami?
It's a clear morning, hot and humid. No moderate or any of that crap, no, hot, humid. The sun comes up in a hazy, tropical orange orb. And you're not working, you're not out of schedule, and you have no meetings, but you have somebody fun to spend the time with. And then you would go to the beach when the sun isn't right overhead yet, because the beach faces east, the sun sparkles on the water. And the sparkle was very nice. So, positive.
You're the template for the rock star, meaning other rock stars sort of look to you to figure out, how should I behave? Along with that, look, even at its worst, even if you're broke, you're a guy who at various points in life has pretty much, one way or the other, been able to have a lot of things and ordinary people would never have. You've had many, many adventures.
I know.
Given that, What thrills you?
The nicest stuff right now is it's just very embarrassing, but it's really embarrassing. Being loved and actually appreciating the people that are giving that to me. I don't see any birds at all here today. It's so quiet.
Is this the reward phase of your life, or is it just dump luck?
It has been mostly, I think, a reward phase for stuff I did up till the age 30. Stuff you had to do on instinct, not on intelligence.
See, I think you deserve it. But when I look at my own life, you know, I'm actually, I'm ambivalent. I mean, I'm still not so sure, you know?
I'm still curious. You seem like a curious person.
It's my only virtue.
There you go. All right. Curious is a good thing to be, you know? That seems to pay some unexpected dividends.
I am the passenger, and I ride, I ride through the city backsides. I see the stars come out of the sky. So let's ride and ride and ride and ride.
And I guess that's what it comes down to. All of it. Led here. I write a book, I get a TV show, I live my dreams, I meet my hero. Two old men on a beach. One more day in Lima. A chance to delve a bit further into the cuisine before things get a little more old school.
It's a special cocktail that we prepare here. It has a kind of lime that we find on the jungle. It has culantro.
Culantro?
Culantro is like cilantro, but it's long leaves and it's much more powerful in flavor.
It would be wrong to not point out that Peru, along with Brazil, is at the forefront of a movement celebrating the incredible and unique larder of ingredients from the Andes and the Amazon. Flavors you find no place else on Earth.
There seems to be a lot of interest in the last decade in the Amazon because it's an amazing spectrum of entirely new to most of us flavors and ingredients.
Pedro Escafino is at the cutting edge of exactly that territory. His restaurant, Amas, explores the rivers, the ocean, the landscape of Peru, highlighting a range of products that are stunning in their diversity, and to us anyway, their newness.
Wow.
This one is, you got breadfruit, tuna, and the cashew sauce that is with plantain vinegar. That's a cashew fruit, and so the nut is a fruit, and in Brazil and here we use the peduncle as a fruit. We make these scallops with a wild almond.
The almond is very, very soft, like the flavor of it. It complements really well.
And this one is freshwater shrimp dashi, made of taro root and a freshwater shrimp.
Whole different flavor spectrum, right? All new. It's almost like you need a new section of your tongue.
It must be so exciting because they have basically an amazing garden with the Amazon.
Ooh, that looks good.
This is a soup made of hen with peanuts and corn, and it's called inchicapi.
Liking the food. I've enjoyed these cocktails too. Cashew caipirinhas.
Are we gonna be wasted?
Yeah, we'll be fine. Oh, wow.
So this is also tradition. This is called patarashka. They season the fish, they put it on a leaf, and they cook it. The fish is catfish. In the Amazon, we have like 200 types of catfish.
It's in flavor from the leaf too.
And here we have paiche. It's the second biggest freshwater fish in the world. Underneath, you have a puree of aguaje, that is a palm fruit. And the sauce is a reduction of fermented wild manioc or yuca.
Fermented.
Yeah, this is, how do you say, toxic or
Poisonous.
poisonous.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they let it ferment and it becomes, you can eat it.
These fish are unbelievable when you see them. They get up to like 600 pounds. And they're swimming in water no deeper than a rice paddy.
Really?
giant. They're like dinosaur fish. Everyone has been saying for years that Peru is going to be the next big thing as far as restaurants.
And it is. This really prove it.
And we have a chili pepper made with Brazil nuts, and these are ants.
Wow, they're huge.
They're huge ants.
Okay. You think I should try?
Yeah, totally. You're not loving that, are you?
No.
Imagine you took a lot of acid and then you ate that whole bowl of ants, and then you go home and you experience violent diarrhea. And like you're tripping, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, and you turn around and you look at the toilet and like all these ant heads floating around in there. It'd be cool.
Yeah, it will be super cool, Tony. I can't wait.
So now that we've confirmed what we already knew, that Peru's food is unequivocally awesome, it seems proper that we take a trip back in time to meet the forebears of this country's rich cultural legacy. The Larco Herrera Museum in Lima has a massive collection of pre-Columbian artifacts. And looking at them, you get an idea of what these ancient peoples were like, how they lived.
Wow. I mean, this is like the real stuff.
I think so. Wow. Right? I mean, it's the real deal, yeah.
Gold necklaces. You see why the Spanish just freaked out when they came here, turned into like maniacal greed heads.
But history does not have to be boring. It can be sexy.
I don't know whether you knew this, but I am an aficionado of early erotica of pre-Columbian and post-Columbian eras. You know, like pottery, of people doing it.
Yeah, I should have known that.
Turns out things could get pretty interesting back in the day. Oh yeah, those guys could get crazy, get wild, and apparently very kinky.
The erotic gallery. Oh, there you go. That's a conversation starter.
I take Eric to the pre-Columbian boning section. Actually, the erotic pottery section.
Slip it of the tongue.
Amazing.
Which sounds about as much fun as an all-nude Renaissance fair, but is actually pretty cool. Nothing new under the sun that these pre-Columbian horn dogs didn't think of first.
Ooh, that's started. Man and chicken.
I'm not sure I understand this one, Tony.
I think we frown on that these days. Oh, wow, they're doing it under a blanket. This must be after the Spanish arrived to teach them shame. Ooh, skeletons with boners.
They are zombies.
Oh, getting zombie old-fashioned?
Yes, Tony. I really appreciate your knowledge.
I wonder whether this was decorative or whether this was early porn.
They probably had it in a closet somewhere or something.
No, I'm betting this was right out on the table. Come on in, have a cup of tea. Sit down. Ooh, here's some animal-on-animal action. This is pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, this is interesting. Yeah, I'm happy we made it here, Tony. That was an enlightening moment.
Something about steamy XXX pre-Columbian erotica always makes me hungry. Luckily at night, Lima comes alive with the smell and the familiar, enticing sound of sizzling meat. It's time for delicious, screamingly hot, garlicky, spicy, flavor-jacked street meats. And as anybody who knows me is well aware, I love me some street meat.
The street food in Peru is starting to disappear.
Really? Why?
Yeah. Because, you know, the neighbors, they
Oh, the neighbors complain?
Our friend Coque brought us to this place,
Sí, chocholí, tripita con su anticucho.
to Doña Pochita, a street stall named for the lady who runs the joint. They specialize in one thing.
Beef heart, anticuchos.
Anticuchos is Quechuan for skewered meat. This stuff, they say, goes back all the way to the Incas and was as immediately popular with the Spanish conquistadors as it is today.
Ooh, that looks good.
Which is to say, I must have some.
Damn.
Traditionally a mix of beef hearts and other animal parts.
Chicken hearts, they're
Yes.
like gizzards, and there's tripe.
Right?
Marinated in garlic, cumin, and onion, maybe a little vinegar.
Oh, yeah.
Grill that up and pile it high.
These are not small portions. These people are getting these mountains of food. Okay, I'm rolling up.
The sauce, the sauce. Let's go to the sauce. Yeah.
It does not get any better.
Voila. Let's do it. Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Beef heart?
Yes.
Yeah. That is some magic right there.
Salud. Salud. Salud.
It's very garlicky. The marinade is nice.
This is what the tripe?
Corazón de pollo.
Corazón de pollo. Chicken heart.
Yeah, that is seriously tasty.
Delicioso, ¿eh? Buenísimo.
The beef heart and the chicken heart, it's the texture is so nice.
And it's hot. The sauce is really hot.
Como wasabi a little bit.
Woo! All right, I'm maxed out. Really delicious. Delicioso. Excellent.
There is another long tradition of artistry here in Budapest. We grew up with their works. Visual artists, photographers, filmmakers. Where did they all go? Well, World War I happened, and with it, the end of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Budapest and all Europe changed forever. A decades-long wave of emigration began. A stunning number of the world's great photographers fled their native Hungary and took up new lives. Eventually, this man joined them.
I'm in shooting still since I remember I was living, basically. I was 5 or 6 years old when I was taking pictures with my father's Kodak camera. The right moment you have to capture, and that's the difficult part. The exact moment which told the story. The Hungarians, there is this thing to excel. My father was not really an artist. He was a soccer player, a very good one. He said, son, whatever you do, you have to be the best in it. First, not second, you have to be first. Because otherwise it's not worth it.
Vilmos Zsigmond, legendary cinematographer. If for some reason you don't know the name, you sure as hell know his work. The Oscar-winning Close Encounters, The Deer Hunter, his absolutely revolutionary work on McCabe and Mrs. Miller, The Long Goodbye, Deliverance. He created a whole new palette, took crazy risks, changed film language in ways people still try to imitate. And he's making our camera crew very nervous, I can tell you.
Self-taught yourself. You taught yourself to shoot.
Basically, I always tried to use my father's little Kodak camera. My luck was actually that I became sick with some kidney disease. I was in bed for a month, and then uncle of mine gave me a book about Eugene Dulovich, who was a great photographer. I bought a camera for myself and started to take just amateur pictures.
One thing that hasn't changed through the years is the Hungarian affection for taking the waters, marinating in thermal baths, a tradition going back to the Romans, continued by the Ottomans, and something that survived right through 2 wars and communism. And they do it in style.
Who came here back in those days? Was this reserved for, did anyone who wanted to could come here?
Well, you know, money-wise, it was, since nobody really made enough money, so everybody could afford it basically because it was cheap.
Right.
In Hungary, you have so many spots.
There are many bathhouse spas, Baroque, elaborately appointed wedding cakes built atop mineral-rich hot springs gurgling from the earth. none more beautiful or storied than the Geller.
So you arrived in Budapest around age 21. What was the city like then?
It was always beautiful in those days. I mean, they could not, they were ruins after the war, 1945, I think. Half of the city was still in ruins. They didn't do much. They didn't have money.
When you first moved here to go to film school, what was your average day like other than your studies? What did you do for fun back then? What were your options?
My options were zero. Imagine that we had the school. There were very little help from the government, very little money. It was good enough to have breakfast and lunch, or breakfast for dinner. You had to skip one lunch if I wanted to buy a pair of socks. So we were very, very poor. But I must say that under this whole 4 years, this is probably my happiest part of my life under communism, because I was learning cinematography. So I fell in love immediately.
In fact, some of Vilmos's most powerful and world-changing footage occurred around this time, before leaving Hungary, as a film student during the outbreak of revolution. But we'll get to that later. Sometimes we get lucky. We get to do things on this show just because it's a show that are frankly awesome. Like this, a small restaurant in Dakar, the delicious smells of Senegalese cooking coming from the kitchen, a band. Youssou N'Dour, one of the most beloved musicians on the African continent, famous throughout the world for blending traditional music of the region with Cuban rumba, American jazz, and R&B. Mbalax, as it came to be known, has had an enormous influence on musicians worldwide, like that Sting guy, Tracy Chapman, and St. Bruce of Asbury, and most famously, his frequent collaborator, Peter Gabriel.
Start to talk about you when you were age 12, when you started to perform professionally?
Yeah.
But did you come from a musical tradition?
My mom, she's a griot. Griot are the storytellers. They are also singers, rappers, and everything. And I grew with my grandmom. She was a big singer. She gave me a lot of things. And from there, going to the school for 2 years, then left the school and start my career.
Tonight we are having a beef mafe, which is a stew thickened with ground peanuts. There are similar preparations throughout West Africa, but the Senegalese version is particularly great. Sear the beef, cook the onion, garlic, peppers, and carrots, deglaze with ground peanuts and broth, bringing up all that good stuff from the pan, then simmer until tender and awesome. Serve hot over rice.
Wow.
Ah.
That looks good.
That's good. Good. Thank you.
Wow, this is very, very good.
The symbol of connection Mali and Senegal is the mafe. These things you can appreciate here, you can appreciate in the Mali also.
So what's the future?
Future?
The future, 20 years from now. Where will Senegal be?
What I hope is in 20 years, Senegal is going to be the place for great and big contribution of what we call Islam.
Do you think there's any danger of the kind of radical Islam that we see taking hold in many places in Africa?
All these people who are using the religion, Muslim religion, to do bad things, I think Senegal have an example. I think this country have models of the religion. This country, you know, you are here, I'm doing my local bisap, and you are with your beer. In country, 95% Muslim. And I think this example can help the world.
I hope so. Inshallah.
Inshallah. Jërëjëf. Merci. Thank you.